Hi guys, and welcome to another deck video here at Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Updates, and you're with me, Joe, and today we have a special deck to celebrate the first ever picture in captured of a black hole. We have a very specific black hole themed deck right here for you, and of course the key card in it is the one and the only Dark Hole. It's Black Hole in the OCG, and it destroys all monsters in the field. And the idea of the deck is basically cards themed around the hole, and trying to bring it out as many times as possible, as well as a bunch of kind of other sciencey themed cards. I've tried to steer away from using kind of trap hole type things because there's the Trap Tricks archetype, and I want to separate that from this a bit. There are a few trap holes in there, but you know, let's see what you guys make of it. So first thing we have is Magical Hole Golem. So this is our defender, and yeah, one of our win conditions is using this to get Dark Magician of Chaos to attack directly. That's kind of how we play. And having said that, we've got 3 of those, and we've got the 3 DMOC to try and grab that Dark Hole from the graveyard and get it back into the hand. And obviously we want quite a few of these, and combined with some other methods, that's how we try and bring the Dark Magician of Chaos to the field. So then we're basically running a kind of spellcaster themed engine, and an old one, but a good one that I like. So we've got 3 Apprentice Magician, which can then go into Magician of Faith when they're destroyed by battle, and obviously the Magician of Faith can then be used to bring the Dark Hole or to bring Monster Reborn, things like that. I've got 2 white Knight's End Sorcerer in here, and they are mainly useful for bringing out the Synchro monster in the deck, which is actually kind of cool when you think about it in the context of Dark Holes and what they mean. Okay, so the next card is Dimension Hole, and basically this is just picked because it's a hole card, and it does, you know, kind of similar thing to Dark Hole, except for on your own side of the field, or maybe you can use it to protect your DMOC or something like that. And then you can play the Dark Hole, and then DMOC comes back. That's basically how it works. So Dimension Hole, Dark Hole, and then Dark Magician of Chaos comes back. Gold Sarcophagus, again, we really need ways to get Dark Hole from the deck, so Left Arm Offering and Gold Sarcophagus are the ways I do that. I use Magical Dimension to try and get more Dark Magician of Chaos in the field. Ancient Telescope is a nod to the I think it was 7 telescopes that were used to get the Dark Hole image, so it's a nod to that. Terrible card, but again, this is a fun deck, it's a theme deck. So yeah, it's all kind of nods. Foolish Burial, get that DMOC in the graveyard, and then Monster Reborn it back. Mausoleum of the Emperor lets you obviously pay life points to bring the DMOC out. And Foolish Burial Goods sends that Dark Hole straight to the graveyard, so you can then bring it back with something like a Magician of Faith or DMOC. Now I personally think that Time Space Trap Hole is the one that resembles more like the picture. I think it's an absolutely stunning card in terms of artwork, and of course it helps combat the extra deck. Obviously people are going to be kind of Xyz spamming, Link summoning, all this kind of thing, so yeah, we're going to need some barrier to that. We then have a few kind of cards that take a nod to the scientists and the good work done by scientists in discovering things such as this. So I've used Kozaki and the Fruits of His Studies. I imagine there are plenty of late nights spent looking at computers, and then the button to launch to bring, make image or something like that, I don't know, but yeah, they're in there. Network Trap Hole, again, I just added it in there because I thought it looked more like the image, and I wanted to add in some kind of trap hole theme things, so there was Network Trap Hole, Giant Trap Hole, and Deep Dark Trap Hole are the ones I've added. White Hole's in there for, I guess, the lols, the mirror, in case somebody else is using Dark Hole. Wouldn't it be amazing to use that card? But yeah, isn't it funny? And then Dark Horizon, I thought, you know, spellcaster themed, very much based on stars and stars collapsing. And it can be used to bring out, obviously, Apprentice Magician or Knights and Sorcerer or something like that. Our only really themed Link monster, Wee Witch's Apprentice, again, recycles the engine, the Apprentice Magicians. And the card I really, really like in here, so one of the best cards in here is Star Eater, in my opinion, because, I mean, that's exactly what a black hole is. Black hole is a collapsed star. The star has been eaten. It's a fantastic card for this kind of deck. I think it adds real theme, and also it's a kind of just a generic synchro monster. And I've got my tuner in here, Knights and Sorcerer. It's a bit hard to reach the 9. You basically need either this Magician of Faith and 2 golems. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if you bring it out, wow. So yeah, in terms of playability, so yeah, we're going to have a new rating system where we try and rate our own decks, and then we'll see how they perform in a tournament. So in terms of playability, I actually think this deck is okay. It's obviously a bit lacking in monsters and general power, and but there's at least an engine there. There's at least an attempt to try and make a functioning Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So with that in mind, it's going to receive 2 in playability. It's in terms of complication, again, fairly straightforward. The win condition is simply using Dark Magician of Chaos to blast through your opponent's field when you've used Dark Hole, and there's nothing left. Weaknesses, lack of spell and trap removal from the opponent, you know, if they're playing something, God, even if it's like a Gravity Bind or something like that, going to be tricky. So yeah, there's some definite weaknesses. I'm sure you can see those yourself. But yeah, I look forward to seeing this deck in the tournament. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, we'll be bringing you a lot more content coming up in the near future. We've got a lot of decks made. It's just about getting me the time to do the voiceovers. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.